Hello everyone, welcome to Tutorials by Decade. My name is Decade, and in this video, we're going to go over that challenge we did in the last video, where I asked you all if you could figure out how to essentially open those doors using something that can be pushed. So, before we do any of that, let's head over to our dungeon scene here. There's a few things that we need to make sure that we have set for this. For starters, the button. We want to make sure that the button is allow temporary and not stay pressed. We're going to be adding another tag here in a little bit, so don't worry about that. Other thing, and I messed this up when I was testing it and it was driving me crazy. Go to this door and make sure that it is set as or not set as a trigger, but also set as can close again. If you do not do this, then that door will never come back. Once you have those things set, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our sprites. I do believe world. I do believe overworld. We're going to open the sprite editor. And then from here, we see this box up here, and I wish there was a smaller box. I mean, I guess we could technically use one of these ones, but this, that's not, yeah. Now, I wish there was a smaller box that we can use. So if you want to make one or know how to make one, or if you want to use one of these ones, you can. I'm going to use this guy up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom sprite, hit delete that, and then drag the top one so it fits that space. So it should be 16 wide by 32 tall. I have here. And I'm going to hit apply. Then I'm going to close this guy out. And I'm going to go to my overworld. Everything is really weird right now. Why is that? Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that weird little cut. Anyway, our overworld fixed itself in that process. So what we want to do is we want to find that box, and we're just going to click and drag and drop it somewhere. And then we're going to rename it box. And obviously it's underneath everything, so we want to change it to the button on the ground layer. So we'll put the box on the ground layer as well. You'll see it pop up. Now the one thing is, I was freaking out on me. You'll see that the box kind of goes behind the button. You don't want that, so order and layer, we're just going to change that to 1. And there we go. Now we should be good there. We're going to change this to -4.5, and then we'll change it to 12. All right. So there's a couple things that we need to add to the box. First things first is a box collider. So we're going to do a box collider 2D. And we're going to edit that box collider so it fits the size of the box. Something like that. While we're here, we're going to, oh, we didn't do that step yet. Never mind. We're not going to do anything just yet. What we are going to do is we are going to add a rigid body 2D. And in the rigid body 2D, we want to keep it dynamic. We want to change the mass to about 5 and the linear dampening to about 2. And you can play with those two settings on your own. For the sake of this video, I'm going to show you what that does. We want collision detection to be continuous, and we want the interlope to be interlope. Oh, and we want to, in our constraints, we want to freeze rotation. So for the most part, that's all we need to do if you just want to push this box around. But we also wanted to activate this button. So how do we do that? Well, we go up to tags, we go to add tag, and then where it says tags, we're going to hit the plus, and we're going to just type in box, and then hit save. Then we're going to go back to our box and make sure we give it that tag. Once we have that tag in there, then we want to go to our button. We want to go to where it says valid tags. We already have the player. We hit this little plus. It duplicates that player, but we want to change that second one to, say, box. Now we could do everything that we want to do right now. The problem is there's going to be a little bit of weird friction and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a material. So we should already have a folder labeled materials. If not, go ahead and create one. And in that box, we're going to right click. We're going to go to create. We're going to go to 2D. And then we're going to go to physics material 2D. And we're just going to name this something like PM for physical material underscore box. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to change our friction to 1. We're not going to worry about anything else. We'll go back to our box. And in our rigid body 2D, where it says material, I'm going to drag and drop that. Now that all that is done, we're going to save this scene. We are going to go to our scenes. We are going to go to our test scene. And then we will hit play. So from here, pick up this if we want. Let's go up to our dungeon. And we got to take care of these little guys here. Go, and then we're in the next room. Now, since we have this set to temporary, you can see we can't walk through. If we step on the button, it opens up, but we try to walk through the door, and it closes again. So we have this little box. We can now push the box. And once the box gets on the button stays pressed, and now we can walk through. So that is how we use a temporary button. We can have multiple temporary buttons. We haven't done that yet, so if you want to try to do that, go ahead. I will be covering that in a later video, so it's kind of like a challenge, but just so you know, I'm not going to cover that in the next video. What I am going to cover in the next video, however, is kind of a debug menu, because it's getting kind of complicated to always come to this menu or this scene and then have to run all the way up here to get to our dungeon, and then we have to take care of the enemies in the first room when all we want to do is just test that second room. So what I'm going to do is, instead of having to do this every single time, in the next video we are going to work on a debug menu that will allow us to teleport to certain areas. It'll allow us to automatically open doors even if the buttons are not pressed, and then we can expand on that later. But I'm going to end this video here, and I understand this is one of my shorter videos. This was just to go over that challenge from the last video. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up. It does help me out. I do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, as I have videos like this coming out all the time, and I do not want you to miss anything. And it's a pain to go through all those videos, seeing how some of them are like 45 minutes long. I know this one's going to be right around 10 minutes or so, so it's a pain to go back and try to pick up what you missed. So please subscribe so you do not miss anything. And with all of that out of the way, as always, Thank you. Have a good one, and I'll see you.